Yo, yo, what is up, artists and our fans? Thank you guys for tuning to the show where we talk to all your favorite Instagram artists about the trade, the tools, and the tips, y'all. I'm your host, Zim Zimma, and you guys are on chatting with Zim. This is episode number 96, y'all. That's right, 96. Today we got a dope guest, definitely a home girl, right here in located in Oak Park, Illinois. So we got beautyart. So we're definitely gonna go ahead and find out about her. Let's go ahead and bring her on the show. So while we start, make sure you guys are checking out Chatting with Zim on YouTube. Check out check me out on TikTok. Follow me there. And definitely give me a follow here, man. Definitely got a bunch of creative stuff there going on. Oh, there we go. Hey.
My painting's falling. Hold on.
Oh no. Get yourself situated there.
Oh my god, it was up. Okay, embarrassing.
No, you're good. You're good. Also, make sure you guys are checking out Monstrous Art Clan here on Instagram. I think we also have a .com. I might be wrong though.
Okay, there we go.
So there we go. Hey guys, warm welcome to Lorimar A.K.A Byoodeart.
Hi, how are you? I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited for having you guys, or having you, and all you guys, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. This is a cool show.
Can I call you Lori? Lori?
Yeah, call me Lori. That's
awesome.
what everybody calls me.
Sweet. So, guys, I will definitely go ahead and pin her handle right here at the bottom for you guys. Make sure you guys give her a follow here at beautyart. That's BYOODEart. One word.
Yeah.
You guys can find her here on YouTube, TikTok, Redbubble, and of course check out the shop beautyart.bigcartel.com. So
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for all of that.
yeah. It's a mouthful sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I chose a name that was like weird, so it doesn't help.
No, you get. Well, I got it. You know, I was like, man.
Yeah. You got it, but a lot of people are like, BOD? Body?
It definitely took me.
So yeah. So what's up? How are you doing? How's your day going?
I am doing great. I slept in. You know what I mean? I guess that's a plus right there.
I mean, I think we all probably slept in because we lost an hour last night. You know what I mean?
Wait, was that last night or is that happening tonight?
Yeah, it was last night. Right? I think it's like Saturday to Sunday. Is it Sunday to Monday?
I think it's Sunday to Monday, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. If anybody in the chat room knows, let me know. Let us know.
So what's up?
Not much, man. Hold on. Let me set this up really quick, and there you guys go. There it is. So not much, Lori. I mean, lots to talk about. First off, thank you for coming on and being on the show. Awesome art for you guys that haven't checked her out. I've been posting her just about all week, and we'll definitely talk about it. There's some awesome art behind it. So you know what? Let's start with just some favorites. I'm gonna give you some questions, and you give me your favorites.
Sure.
Pretty simple. Favorite food?
Alcapurrias.
What is that?
So it's like a fried dumpling from Puerto Rico. So what it is, it's made out of like grated plantain. They make like a dough out of like grated plantain and sweet potato and stuff like that. They put a little meat in it and then they fry it. And so it's like this delicious fried ball of meat and plantain.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Yeah, it is good.
Favorite music?
I am super eclectic, but right now I have two artists that I really like. I like Tyler, the Creator, and I like SZA at the moment. Those are my top two right now. But okay. I like almost everything except for like modern country.
Man, nobody likes country.
No, you know what? There's some good country artists, okay? Like Dolly Parton is amazing, okay? Like everybody from pre-90s in the country music world is really good. But like this weird Americana stuff happened like in the 90s and then especially in the early 2000s with 9/11 and then country became garbage.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I was never a fan of country. I mean, besides like Garth Brooks or
Yeah,
here
he's
and
pretty
there, but
good. Yeah, he's pretty
yeah,
good.
it's never a thing of mine. Let's see. Favorite type of car
My favorite
or
type of car?
or dream car.
Oh my God, I don't even drive. I don't have a driver's license
Oh my
because
god.
I get anxiety driving, so I've never even attempted. And because I lived in the city most of my life, like I could get everywhere on the CTA.
Yeah.
So like maybe not a dream car, but like an express route from my home to wherever I'm going on the CTA would be great.
Oh snap! There you go. I like that. You got your private CTA there. You
Right?
know,
Just for me, just for me.
it has all your art on it and shit all around it.
Right? Wouldn't that be cool? Like,
That would be
like
awesome. You'll get there. Well, we'll see some buses running around with your art on there.
right? Like
I
posted
think.
on the sides, like when they seal them and like they
Hmm.
put like the whole advertisement, I'll have a bus with just my paintings on it. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I think that's very possible. You know, I could definitely see your art there. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Favorite artist. This could be dead or alive.
Yeah, no, one of my favorite artists is Hajime Soriyama, and he is the guy from like in the 80s he would draw these sexual robotic women, and he would like airbrush them so they looked like metal and they looked really glossy, but a lot of them were like in really beautiful sexual poses. And he was like the first artist to like sexualize robots and make them feminine and like give them like weird poses. I don't know. He's great. He's actually a couple years ago he did like this really giant robot for the Dior men's show and it like blew up all over Instagram because there was like lights hitting it and it was like literally like 2 stories tall. He made like a robot
Wow,
sexual woman robot sculpture. It's really cool. So yeah,
that's
that's probably one of my
crazy.
favorites. Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you believe in ghosts?
You know what? That's really tricky for me because I grew up in the church, right? And so like
Mm,
ghosts meant like demons. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah.
when I was growing up. So like I have like this weird and I'm not religious anymore, so I have like this weird like feeling towards like ghosts and demons and that kind of stuff. I don't enjoy it. Could they be real? Totally. Why
Okay.
not? Like it could be like other planes of like other dimensions like interacting with ours and it like trips us up. You know what I mean? And we just can't like understand what's going on because it's like on a different dimension, you know?
And last question. What about UFOs? You believe in that?
That I do believe in and I think that like the world governments just don't want us to like really know because we'd freak out cuz like look at what happened with COVID. People
Oh
acted
yeah.
a fool.
Oh
Imagine
yeah.
if they knew like aliens were like trying to contact us and stuff. Like people would freak out. They would freak out.
Sweet, sweet. And actually, this is the last one. The last one. If you were in one of the four elements, which one would you be? Earth, wind, water, or fire?
I would be air because then I can go wherever I want. Like I can travel wherever I wanted to go. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to go to India, I'd blow myself over to India. You know what I mean?
And that's not bad. I like that way of thinking.
What would you be?
I would be fire, probably.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
That would be
fire.
cool because you could like destroy things if you wanted to, or like you could cook food. You know, like
Damn right. You know, purify the world again. No. Got a little dark there, but it's all right.
yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you guys for joining
Mhm.
in. We definitely left a little bit of room for you guys to for the chat room to fill up here. Shout out to everybody joining in: Juan Ming, Panda. I see Notorious Peasant there. The homie Livewood7. That's another guy that does interviews. Another one of the homies. He's part of the Monsters Art Clan as well. So make sure you guys are following him and check out his IGTV. And today we got special guest Lori at Beauty Art. So definitely kicked it off with a little bit of a series of questions there. And Lori, tell us about your origins of your art. This is something that I'm very interested in. It's like, what was your first exposure to it, or how did you end up?
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess here's the funny thing. I didn't start taking myself seriously as an artist until last August, but I've been making art since I was a kid. I've always been interested in it, and growing up, my stepfather, who went to school to be an architect, unfortunately, because he had a family really young, he never got to like fulfill his dream, but he had all of these skills in drawing and painting, and so when he figured out that I was interested in it, he like taught me the fundamentals, So like he was
Oh,
my
nice.
real first like exposure to like art. And so he really taught me how to like draw faces and people and like buildings in perspective. And so I cherish those moments with him because me and him didn't have a good relationship, but that's a different story. But like those moments like really like stuck with me my whole life, and I was always interested in art. And so when it came time to go to college, I wanted to be a fashion designer, so I started going to school for it. But I had to stop. I was a young mom. I had my daughter when I was 16, so I had bills to pay. I had things to do, and so I couldn't finish college. And so I put my love of art and like all of that on the back burner, and I would only create things like um, here and there. So like I would spruce up shirts that I found at the thrift store, or like I would bead shoes and stuff like that, and it would
Mm-hmm.
like fulfill my creative needs. Um, but it would be like little things that I could do in my free time because I was working. So this summer, I lost my job, like a lot of other people, because of COVID, and I was bored at home. Like I didn't know what to do with myself, and I just decided to like pick up a paintbrush again after many years. I hadn't painted since college, and I picked up like a cheap paint set, and like I just went in, and I felt the best I had felt in years, years.
Wow.
Like
There you go.
something came over me, and like literally for like 2 weeks straight, you could not stop me from painting. Like that's all I was doing outside of my regular housework.
Mm-hmm.
And it just clicked in my head, like why haven't I been doing this? Like why, like where was I? But I'm glad that it happened that way. Like I was frustrated I lost my job at first, but it worked out because it like showed me what I needed to be doing. So
No
that's
work.
where it kind of happened. And so as soon as I figured out that I loved it, I started an Instagram page, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it up, and if people like it. And if they don't, they don't. And so far, people have liked it, so I feel like I'm on the right track. I don't know.
Yeah, no, no. You know what? It's very funny how it happens. And simply because I think 2020 with the whole COVID, I think it was everyone's year for creating. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So there was a
yeah.
big year in creation there,
I think
and
it was
some
good.
of us,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
No, no,
off.
no. You're fine. No, no,
No, I
you're
think
good.
it
And
helped people flourish, and they picked up side
mhm,
hustles, and they started thinking about themselves,
mhm.
because let me tell you, the government and these companies, they don't care about us. They never did. And we were kind of living in this fantasy where like if we worked hard enough, something would happen. And
Yeah,
it's not, like you got to make it happen for yourself. And I think
damn right.
that like really woke up people this summer, with COVID and everything.
No, that's cool, and it's it seems not only that your art kind of was brought back, but your mentality in it is changing as
Yeah,
well. So,
yeah.
you know,
It woke me up. It's like weird, like picking up that paintbrush, like it made like a final connection in my head, and like I don't know, I felt more free, looser. My trains of thought have changed, and really it's because like when I go into my art, I get into like a meditative state, you know what I mean? And like when I start painting, it just everything like disappears, and like I can really think about things, and like my trains of thought have changed. And so yeah, it's weird like that.
no, no, and it's cool. It's part of growing as an artist, I
Yeah,
think. So,
yeah.
and then there's that one line where you turn from being an artist, a hobbyist, and then
Hmm.
you really kind of make it your profession and your career, you
Yeah,
know? So there's
yeah.
that one line right there, and I think you crossed it already, mentally.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I At first I was like, this is just like for fun, and
mm,
then it's people started like commenting like, oh, this is really good, and I didn't. I sometimes I still don't think of myself as a very good artist, and I think every artist kind of has that insecurity where their work isn't up to par or something like that. But I mean, in a way, it kind of doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't matter if my work is good. If people enjoy it, they enjoy it, you know. And yeah, I like it, so why not make money? Like,
yeah, no, it's something that I've learned from talking to a lot of artists is definitely do your passion, draw your passion, and
yeah,
your followers will come. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Do what you
yeah,
love, and they will fall in
yeah.
love with you
People will
first,
figure
and
it
then
out.
your art. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I figured it out with social media. Like, the more I put myself into it, like, the more
Hmm.
people love it, you know? They do. You're right about
Sweet.
that.
Yep. Now, what are you, as far as any current projects, anything you got currently working on?
Yeah, so right now, most of my art that I've created is at an art show. There was an art show being held by Rostrum 312. It's an art gallery inside of the Roosevelt Collection shops. They kind of host like pop-up events, and I was invited to participate in an all-woman-led show. And so we had our first showing on Friday. We had like a an event. It was wonderful. They had live music, there was champagne, and there was, I think, 13 artists, 12 or
Okay.
13 of us all together. And it was a really great event. So most of my work is there because
Okay.
I got lucky that I got a good space to like a big space to like display everything. So I just started this guy a couple nights ago. It's a big piece that I'm going to work on, inspired by like graffiti. I do some work that's inspired by graffiti, like the tools and techniques that graffiti artists use. I love to play with, but like
Hmm.
not in the sense of graffiti, like in the sense of abstract art. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
No,
that's
it
kind of
does.
like, yeah, that's like a place I like to go, and I wanted to do something big in that style because I've done a
Nice.
couple smaller pieces like that. So that's what this guy is. This is like the first layer. I have a few more layers to go. I'm gonna go in with a mop marker. I'm gonna go in with what are those? What are they called? The Markall paint sticks. I'm gonna
Okay,
go
yeah,
in with
yeah,
some
yeah.
of that. Yeah, you know, just like using the actual like tools that graffiti artists use, but make it my own style. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then I did that art show on Friday, and we're going to have another event, I believe April 16th, and I'll post it on my page if anybody's interested in coming. There's free champagne and booze and live music and lots of really good art. So yeah, I'll post that on my page
Oh,
when
that's
we get the
awesome.
details. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. If tag me in it, and I'll definitely
yeah,
repost for you. You know, try to
yeah,
help
yeah.
out.
No, it's cool. Cool. Thank you.
And as far as projects go, what is
Mhm.
your most favorite project that you've done?
So I don't have it with me, but I have I every 6 months I'm going to challenge myself to do a self portrait. I did a self portrait towards the beginning of like my Instagram situation, and every time I do a self portrait, it is in a line, and it's a line in the shape of like a figure. The first one is orange and blue and silver. It's towards the bottom. Um, that one right there, that pink one, is actually the second one if you want to click it. The pink one with the eyes. Yeah. So that's actually my second self portrait, and that's probably my favorite piece. So the lines in my work kind of represent like the paths that I'm taking currently in my life, or the thoughts that I have. It's like, you know, a path, a train of thought, a lifeline. It's that kind of thing. And then
Okay.
the teeth in this painting, because there's little teeth inside of that line, I did all kinds of teeth, like perfect teeth, rotten teeth, teeth with a little cavity, teeth with gingivitis, teeth with you know, like a gold cap or a silver cap, teeth with braces, and those kind of represent like, you know, like things that happen in your life. Like sometimes your life is perfect. Sometimes your life is a little messy. Sometimes there's people in your life that are rotten. And sometimes you just have to like take them out, you know? And sometimes you have things in your life that you can repair, you can fix, you can straighten out. And so that's what the teeth represents. And then the eyes are like people in my life that are like looking at me and kind of watching it all happen. And I know they look a little like depressed. The eyes look a little depressed, but it's almost like the embodiment of like a headache. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like the way I was feeling in that moment. There was a lot of pressure on me at that time, and so I kind of just like let it out in that painting. So that's probably my favorite piece because it's like my most detailed, weird, you know, really abstract kind of train of thought. And I spent a lot of time. That piece took me like 2 weeks to complete.
Oh wow, look
So
at these. Anger.
yeah, frustration, anger, sadness, like, you know, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, some of these eyes look like they're in a trance, you know?
Yeah. And I liked doing eyes like that. In Japanese culture, they have this saying that like if somebody, most people, when you look at their eyes, you can only see two whites, right, on the
Mm-hmm.
side. But when you can see three whites of the three parts, like the white all the way around the eye and three sides, it means that person is like in distress or a little crazy
Oh
in their
wow.
culture. So in a lot of anime, when you see the character like with three parts of their white, it means that they're like going through a struggle, you know, like a mental struggle. And so that's why I kind of did the eyes like that because I don't know,
Wow,
I'm intrigued by that kind of thing too.
that's pretty. That's a cool fun fact. I never really noticed that, and I'm definitely gonna take a peek next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm inspired by a lot of anime. I mean, my work doesn't have like elements of anime in it, but like
Mm,
the concepts of anime like really resonate with me. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
how they explore like the human experience. Not all animes, obviously, but you know, there's some animes that really explore like the human experience. I do have a piece that is inspired by anime. It's like a little square one, and it has like a bunch of eyes in it. It's like bulbous kind of figure. It's like purple and black, and it has a bulbous figure. And I did that based on like, you know, in animes they create like a monster that has like tons of eyes, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like in Akira or something like that. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, that guy. That was inspired by like, you know, those bulbous figures with eyes all over them in anime.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
I love anime. I'm a big weeb.
No, that's cool. That's cool. I don't think I wouldn't consider myself a weeb, but I do love anime. I
Yeah.
do like it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's I think my boy in Notorious Pest is probably flicking off the screen right now at me. He's a big weeb head.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think anime is like the perfect way to like express things that you can't really express in film. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can play with color a lot more, and you can play with like shapes and dimensions where you can't like do that in film or uh in TV because like you know like that 3D stuff they do doesn't always read, you know?
Yeah,
I
for
don't know.
sure.
So yeah.
No, that's cool. That's very cool. And you know, just seeing this stuff, just you explaining it, just definitely puts a bigger, you know, more depth into your artwork. You know what I mean? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. I think it jumped a little bit, but I can
Okay,
hear you.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. No, that's very good. Very, very cool. As far, let's go back to your
Yeah.
show on Friday and talk to us
Yeah.
about that. Is this your first show?
Yeah, it was my first time showing in a gallery to the public. It was super exciting. I because I've only been doing this since August. I mean, I didn't think it would kind of happen for me that fast. Like being featured in a gallery feels really like elusive. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like how do you get in? What's the connection you make? Like when you're starting out as an artist, it feels like there's no way in almost. You know, like for the first few months, I had no idea like what it would take to get in there. And in all reality, it's just like making lots of connections, like being really open. And since you can't meet people in person because of COVID, like I've been trying to be really open to like connecting to people on Instagram. Like anybody that messages me that's genuine, like I will respond. Like
Hmm.
you DM me with a question or whatever, like uh, I don't know, as I'm learning as I go along as well, you know? So like I'm open to like talking to people, and you also have to be open to like putting yourself out there. So like if I see somebody doing something really cool, like I'm open to like just asking them like straight up in a DM, like how did you do this? Like where did you get that? Like, and it was that way that I was able to make like the connection to like the person that held the event, you know? And and so she just reached out to me afterwards because I've been open with her. She posted like something about doing murals for this restaurant. So there's this restaurant in downtown called South Loop Club, and they boarded up because they were going to do an outdoor patio and they wanted it to be warm, but it was kind of ugly. So
Hmm.
um, they wanted people to paint on it. Well, she, you know, talked to them, and then she just put out on her page like, hey, you know, there's these spots open if you want to come, come. Let me tell you, I saw that at like 11 a.m. I was like, I have to do it. I messaged her. I'm like, is this still available? Like, what are you doing? How are you doing this? Like, I need to know. And by 2 p.m., I was there with like a batch of paint.
Wow. Nice.
And I just did it because if you don't like throw yourself out there, if you don't talk to people, like, you're never gonna like get anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you
Yep.
just, like when the opportunity happens, or if you have a question, you just gotta do it. You gotta ask, you gotta, you know, talk, you know.
Yeah.
So
For
yeah.
sure.
And
See,
so it was the same woman that put together that art show, and so she
ah,
remembered
okay.
me, and yeah, I was able to get in. So that was cool. It was really cool. And I'm
That,
grateful to her because it was a fun
yeah,
event.
that's awesome. See, connections, people, connections.
Yeah.
If you're an
You
artist,
hon- yeah. You have to just be willing to talk. I know a lot of us artists are like introverts, you know, and so
I
we
was gonna say,
express
yeah.
ourselves through the art. And so we have this idea that the art is going to speak for itself. And in a way it does, right? But like if
Hmm.
you don't put yourself out there and if you don't talk, nobody is going to talk to you.
Yep.
It's not going to happen magically, unfortunately, you know?
Yep. Yep. They can't listen if you don't speak.
Yeah.
Notorious Pest says she gets it. Anime for life. See, I knew he was
Yeah.
gonna comment on that.
So
Now,
yeah.
no, that's awesome. You know, and that right there is some proof that I mean you'll never know who you're gonna meet when you talk, especially when you're going out to just in general, just online
Yeah.
as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, just oh, and always talk about yourself. Like it's not um you're not being like, I don't know what how to say it. Like people want to hear what you have to say. You know what I mean? Like if you
Hmm.
are creating something, like people want to hear about that. You know, like don't feel like you're doing too much ever. And if you are, like if you're never gonna see that person again, then who cares? You know?
Let's
So
see.
yeah,
I don't know how to read that. Knopf Artistry says so true. Seven says dedication is definitely the vibe from this great guest. Oh yeah. And Hua Ming says true as well. Yeah, definitely true, man. You speak nothing but truth there, Lodi. So, guys, thank you guys very much for joining us. This is episode 96 of Chatting with Zim. Make sure you guys are checking out Beauty Art, our guest today, Lodi. So, you guys can find her not just here, but also on YouTube, TikTok, Redbubble under the same handle, and definitely check out her shop, beautyart.bigcartel.com. Ugh, gotta get that right.
I know that one's long.
And she's not paying me for this. Anyway. So
No, I'm not, but I should.
so that's cool. That's it's
Mhm.
something that I've wanted to do last year. Is actually
Yeah,
start going to shows in Chicago and getting my name out
yeah.
there more. But what is something that you learned doing this first show? Something that if you could tell yourself today,
Yeah,
what's some advice?
I need to have, so doing this first show, I need to have, when I put my work up, I didn't realize that I should have also included like a document about myself. Like I should have put something about myself next to my work. So that's something that I learned. Another thing I learned is that you can never be too prepared. Like, I was preparing myself for a week, and when I got there, I still was missing items. So, like, you can never be too prepared. And then at the event, I kind of let myself at first get a little bit in my head, and I wasn't really talking that much. I got lucky that I brought my mom, and my mom is the type of person that knows how to work a room. Like, she has no fear to talk to people. She's like really outgoing, and so like she'll just talk to people. And people were like walking up to my art, and I was just like in my head about it. Like, should I say something to them? Like, what if they don't like it? I don't know. And my mom was like, just like literally, you just have to go talk to them. And so she like kind of pushed me to talk to them. So what I learned is that like I just had to interact even more at that moment, because like when people are staring at your art, they kind of want to pick your brain, like especially when you do abstract work, it's not straightforward. Like, what is the concept behind it? Like, people can make up whatever they want, but they kind of also want to know where you were coming from when you did it. So what I learned was that I should include some information about myself next to my art next time I do a show. I should have that prepared in case
Okay.
I'm not there. But when I am there, I just have to be willing to be like really open about what it was that led me to that, to make those pieces, because people really do enjoy, the
The
backstory.
story, yeah.
Yeah. So that's something that I learned. You can't be too prepared. Make up a piece of information about yourself, like an informational poster or something like that. And yeah, just be ready to like be really open, you know?
There you go. Nice. Great advice. So anybody wanting to do the first show, or yeah, preparing for that, make sure you guys take that advice. Write that down. Rewatch the show. Give her a follow. Message her. You know what I
Thank you.
mean?
Yeah, I'm open. Like, if anybody has questions about anything, as long as you're genuine, I will respond. I don't have any problems. I'm a regular person. I'm not better than anybody else, and I'm still learning too. So whatever information I can give you, I will. I'll share it. I don't have anything to hide, you know?
No, thank you. And I think the art community appreciates that. I don't want to speak for y'all, but I kind of do. Where it's like, I think artists are, at least the artists that I've spoken to and been on the show, they're more than happy to help you guys out and help out the art community. So, that's one of the things I like. There's a lot of bad talk about artists. Oh, you
Yeah.
guys we're selfish. We only want, only want to grow
I mean, yeah.
ourselves, but
Yeah. Some people are genuinely like that. Some people are in it just for like, they think that they want to reach some kind of level of fame, and so they don't think of others. And I actually experienced that at that art show I was at, because I said there was like 12 or 13 of us different artists there. And there was definitely one person in particular. I won't say anything about it. It's not a big deal, but you could tell that their mindset was on them. And so there are people like that. But if you ever encounter somebody like that, it's don't ever take it personal, because other people's opinions are none of your business. Like, you know what I mean? So if they think of themselves a certain way, or they think of you a certain way, it's not your business. It
yeah,
doesn't matter. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So just, if somebody says no, knock on the next door, knock on talk to the next person,
yeah. HC Nav Artistry says, "I love your art so much more now. So glad you're doing
Thank
this
you.
interview."
Thank you.
That's awesome, 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 awesome. Something I haven't asked. Do you take commissions?
I will take commissions. Here's the
Okay.
thing, my art is kind of specific. Like, I do lines, so you can't ask me for a commission to paint your dog or something like that, because it's not what I do. But like, if you like my style of art and you have a specific colorway you want to do, or pattern you want to see, yeah, let me know, or size. I'll do it as long as it's within my style. If you like my style but you want specific things, like, I'm open. I'm completely open.
Sweet, sweet. There you go. Just got to get that across.
Yeah, my mom joined the chat, so she.
Oh, Maria, how you doing? Shout out to Maria, the mama.
So yeah, hi mom.
Hey, right, right. Hi, mom. Yes, yes. Let's see. What is your main art goal?
You know what, this is, I don't want to sound any type of way, but I do one day, like, I want to be in a museum, but not just my pieces like this. I really want to make like a whole exhibit of like, from my point of view, kind of like, there's this Japanese, no, he's Korean. Sorry, I confused him. There's this Korean artist that makes um, like life-size versions of his places he's lived, but he makes them out of fabric and you can like walk through them. It's like almost
Oh, that's
immersive,
cool.
like his art. Yeah, he does this thing where like they're made out of fabric. He's sewed fabric like organza and put like wire through it and stuff so that it's like
Hmm.
stable. And they're literally like life-size versions of places that he's lived, like his
Oh,
apartments or his childhood homes. And I kind of want to do something like that, but with lines, like with my lines, like when you walk into the exhibit, like you're using my line as a guide through like my lived experience in my head. And so like that's a goal of mine, like a big goal of mine is to have like a museum or somewhere, like do that for me, like me be able to like take you through what's going on in my head, but you're following the line. Yeah. So,
there you go.
but I
And
want
guys, oh,
that's
I'm
a
sorry.
thing. Sorry.
I was about to say, and anybody joining us, don't get a little too excited. We're not talking about those lines. You know what I mean? So,
No, no, not those.
so make sure you go back and check out Beauty Art, BYOODEART. And actually, you know what? Why? I know you wanted to be a little bit more creative with it, but why that choice? That
Why?
BYOO.
Oh, the beauty art. You know
Yeah.
what? This is gonna be really random, but me and my fiance, when I was gonna create the Instagram, I was like, should I use my name or should I like make a name for like my page? Like, do I want it to loop back to me personally, or do I want it to be bigger than me? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so like I thought to myself, I want it to be bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like I'm the artist, but like my art is bigger than me. So then I wanted a name that was outside of me. And so we were going through different like names that like, different kinds of things. And I just said beauty, like art is beauty. And so we kind of played with that until, we were like searching online different ways to spell it, different ways to like, pronounce it or whatever, and we stumbled across that spelling. It's actually, I forgot what language it is, and that's really bad of me to not know. But I
No,
saw
it's
it.
cool.
That's really bad of me to not know. But that's what I decided. I was like, that's a really cool way to spell it. Like
Awesome.
it's different, and like I said, I wanted the name of my art page and like my like the what I do to be
Hmm.
outside of myself. I don't know.
No, no,
It's
I totally get that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
that was
I
it.
mean, this coming from the man who's called Zim Zimma, so I totally get that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh, that's
What
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, how did you get your name? How did you choose yours?
It was pretty much I used to do graffiti when I was in high school.
Mm.
My name sounded similar to Zimma. It
Oh, okay.
wasn't, but I had a friend, and every time he would see me in high school, I don't know if you went to Mortonese, but that place is huge.
I went to Mortonese. Yeah.
All right, so there
I
you go.
graduated
So,
I graduated '06. When did you graduate?
'03.
Oh, okay. We
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
my freshman year we bumped heads. We still probably saw each
Yeah,
other.
probably. But that place is big, so I would hear
Yeah.
this guy in the back, across the hall, and he'd be like, "Yo, Zim Zimma," referring to the song and my name,
Okay. And
which
then
my graffiti name.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. I
So
like that.
so when I
See
came
that?
on here, huh?
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so long story short, when I came on, when I started my life here on social media, I was under Mr. Martin's gallery. Martin is my middle name. And
Oh.
my brother's like, hey, that sounds like some shit an old man would have. I'm like, you need something catchier. So I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Zim Zimma.
Yeah. I like that. That's more interesting than mine. Yours has a cooler backstory.
Hey, yours is in another language, so that's awesome. I would
It's
have never
true.
guessed that. That's cool. That's cool. I love knowing people's handles and how they originate that. You know. What is your favorite part of your process as an artist?
Um, I think I when I create the line itself that goes through my work, that's probably my favorite part because then I can be a little bit freer with what I'm doing. And then every time I create a line, I try to take a different pathway that I haven't taken. Now, a lot of my swoops and loops and whatever are similar because I mean that's my kind of like my penmanship, you know. But when I actually lay down that line, that's when that meditative process like starts for me. You know what I mean? Like when I lay down that line, I start to get into my head about like what that line is gonna embody, you know?
Okay.
And that's when I start to really enjoy the piece and like really get in my head and like, you know, like lay down the details. So that's my favorite part.
Sweet. And where does all this inspiration come from as far as like colors, color choices, and stuff like that?
You know what's so funny? I sometimes start with the concept and sometimes I start with the color palette. It just depends on like my mood that day or like if I have a concept in my head. So some of my art has a concept like that those self-portraits, I think about what my self-portrait is got like the pieces it's gonna have beforehand, right? Or like when I did those pieces based off graffiti, I knew I wanted it to have the feel of graffiti, so I chose colors that a lot of graffiti are like that are more common in graffiti. You know what I mean? But sometimes I start with like colors. So like let's say I like it was the middle of winter and I missed summertime, and so I created a palette based on colors that felt like summertime. And so sometimes the art is like conceptual, like I have those ideas, you know, like of I want my piece to include teeth. I want my piece to include eyeballs. I want my piece to look like fur. Um, and then sometimes it's really just colors. And then once I hash out the line, when I start to put the little design inside, that's when my feelings at that moment really come out. And sometimes a piece will mean something, even though it's very abstract, like you would never guess it, but it means something to me because I'm like releasing a feeling at that moment of when I'm filling in that line, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Very cool. In what type of medium do you use?
Yeah. So I mostly work in acrylic on canvas.
Okay.
Um, I work in acrylic on canvas and I use all different types of acrylics. I'm not a picky person. I will use like craft store acrylics, you know, the little bottles, these guys. Like I'll use these. I use these mostly for like the background because it's cheap and if you got a big canvas, you know, you can apply a
Yeah.
lot of paint, like a lot of paint inexpensively. But then sometimes, you know, I'll use like a more traditional acrylic too. I'm not scared of like you trying different things out. Like I'll even use like paint that's for furniture if the color and texture is right. Like that's what I'll use. Um, so I work in acrylic mostly, and then I also use the Markall paint sticks, and those are oil. Those are oil paint sticks. Um, I'll use foil, like gold leaf foil. I like to use that a lot in my work. I like that reflective, shiny, mirrory finish. Um, so that's most of what I'm doing. I work mostly on canvas, but I also work on paper as well. Like when I'm
Okay.
trying to do smaller, like quicker things, I'll work on paper.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And, I usually do this at about half of the show, but I mean,
Hmm.
uh, there's really no time limit here,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So let's do that now while we're talking
Yeah.
about while we're talking about all this stuff as what type of acrylics and stuff. Let's go into the segment I call Josh's Tools. This is where we talk about the artist tools. It's named after Josh, who was my first interviewee. So,
Oh wow.
yeah, he was
Nice.
big into that. He's like, I gotta know about the tools. What are you guys using? I'm like, all right, so
Yeah.
let me incorporate that
Cool.
in every show. So
Cool.
definitely, Lori, let us know. I mean, you definitely
Yeah.
showed us a couple
Yeah.
paints.
Yeah, so those are the paints that I use. Other things, other tools that I use. Let's see. So I actually like these kind of paint brushes that are like for house painting. Like you get them at the tool store. I like these when I'm doing the big ones because they lay down color really smoothly. Like you can get a nice paintbrush at the craft or the art store, but like these are less expensive. The bristles are nice. They're meant to lay down the color, the paint really smoothly because if you're painting your house, you don't want it to be clumpy. So this guy is by Purdy. It's a Purdy paintbrush. I love this. This is one of my favorite paintbrushes. But I also use like all kinds, all lengths, all prices. I'm not picky. I will use a dollar store paintbrush. If it lays down the color, I'll use it. I'm not picky about that kind of thing. One of my favorite tools that I've encountered is actually using a paint mop. So a lot of graffiti artists use these refillable paint mops. You put in the paint down here or ink, and then the tip is like this fuzzy fabric-y kind of thing, and you apply the amount of pressure you want, and so you get that amount of paint or ink. So I have a bunch of these in a bunch of different colors, and I like to use these when I'm laying down my line because I can get a smooth stroke, and then sometimes I'll change the thickness and dimension of my line with more paint afterwards, but this gives me that initial, really clean line. So I love these guys. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them on the website. They're by Molotov. They create a lot of Molotov. Yeah, they create a lot of paint pens too, and I like those. They have some really good paint pens. Another thing I use a lot of paint pens. So I create a lot of my little designs inside of my lines with different paint pens. And like I said, I don't care about the price. Like this guy, I got in a 24 pack on Amazon. This one's literally from the dollar store. And this guy is by Sakura, which is another brand that a lot of graffiti artists like to use. And so I just pick them up. The color is right. The texture is right. I'm going to use it. I like that. So this is another thing I use a lot. Outside of acrylic paint, like the next thing I use the most is probably paint pens, for sure. And I like the water-based ones the best. The oil-based ones take too long to dry, so you can accidentally like touch your painting and it just slides. Yeah, it slides, and then you're done. I use a lot of these little cereal cups and yogurt cups for paint. Like I'm not gonna spend a lot of money to like damage stuff. So these little cereal and yogurt cups, it's like the best thing. Yep.
Dollar store.
Yep, exactly. And I like, and if you have stuff like this, recycle it. You know what I mean? Like, don't throw it in the trash. I use this guy. This is from the dollar store. You know what I mean? If I'm doing a small painting, this holds and I left it dirty for y'all to see that I really use it. This is from the dollar store, you know what I mean? So, like, it doesn't, like, the material, like, the actual tools you use, yeah, like, it doesn't matter how cheap or expensive it is, like, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done, And then two other tools that I use a lot that are it's not art related, but, like, a notebook. You know what I mean? Like, I have to write down what I'm doing that day. So, like, I'm a little bit ADHD. And so, like, if I don't write down what I'm doing that day and, like, the steps I need to take, like, I'll never get a piece done. And then the last tool I use a lot is my computer and my cell phone. Those are important, you guys. Like, learn how to use the camera on your cell phone properly, like all the features on your camera on your cell phone. Like, play around with it until you find like the right settings to take your photos. That's really important, because when I first started, I was just snapping any photo and like posting it, and sometimes they're like hazy or like the lighting isn't right. And honestly, the algorithm on Instagram is real tricky. Like, if your stuff's not clear, it's not going to push your picture. Like, Instagram is all about like how much time you spend on the app. So as a creator, if you're able to keep people on the app longer, the more they'll send people to your page. So like, your picture's got to be crisp, and clean, and like, don't have extra stuff in the background, and make sure you know all the settings on your camera phone, like your camera on your phone, if that's what you're using. And then my computer I use every day, because like I'm editing my pictures before I'm posting them. And so you don't need like fancy editing stuff. Like I use a free editing software called Photor. I got it, like I just looked up like editing software, figured it out, and like I just played around with it. And so I edit every picture before I put it up because, like I said, Instagram, they want like really clear, beautiful pictures. Like if you're not making really clear, beautiful pictures, they're not gonna go anywhere. So yeah, those are my tools.
No, that's awesome. And you said make sure you learn how to take good pictures and stuff. That's
Yeah,
something that I learned from one of my buddies here, one of my mentors, Halo here.
yeah,
He's very big on presentation. Presentation is
yeah,
key, you know.
yeah.
So,
Like Instagram, let me tell you, Instagram and Facebook, like because Facebook owns
mhm,
Instagram, for them it's like literally, I'm just gonna be honest, like if you want your page to grow, if you want people to like see your art, you really gotta like learn what Instagram and Facebook want from you. It's unfortunate like that we have to play games like that, but that's what they want. Like they want people to stay on their apps for like hours, you know? So if
yeah,
you can put out content that keeps people engaged, um, it will help your page grow, you know what I mean? So like right now, the biggest thing on Instagram is those reels. So if you can make a reel, you don't even have to do a fun dance or anything weird like that. If you literally just video clip your painting, like, you pan in, pan out, and it's really clear, and you put a nice song to it, and you put it on the reels, do it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Because that's what it wants, you know? So,
yeah.
and honestly, Instagram is a tool for your art, you know what I mean?
It is. It is.
So yeah.
Guys, and thank you guys for whoever's in here still. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for tuning in. We are speaking with Lorimar A.K.A Beautyart. That's BYOODEERT. One word. Make sure you guys are checking out her shop at beautyart.bigcartel.com. She's also on YouTube, TikTok, Redbubble, same handle, BeautyArt. Make sure you guys are going and subscribing to the YouTube as well.
Oh,
And
I only
while
have
you're
one
there,
video. Yeah, I only have one video up, but I have another one planned. I promise, guys. I'll put something
it's
else
all
up on
right.
YouTube.
It,
Those videos take a lot of work, man.
oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. This is the reason why I say it's unedited, because I don't want to
Yeah,
edit shit on my show. You know
I'm.
what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel
So
you.
so it's just drag and drop and let's go.
Yeah. I need to be more like. Honestly, I should be more like that. Sometimes see people put like 3-hour videos on YouTube. I'm like,
Oh
what? But
yeah,
they'll put like their whole painting session. I'm like, maybe I should just do that. Like I'm putting too much effort into this.
doing too much.
Maybe I don't know.
How do the kids say it nowadays? A little extra or something?
Oh yeah,
Something like
being
that. I don't know.
extra.
Being
Yeah,
extra.
being
Yeah, there.
extra.
Yeah, I'm old. Anyway, that's a different story. Uh, what is one of the best tips that you learned as an artist?
um, I guess what I said earlier, like really, I guess for me, what's important is kind of like growing my audience right now. Like I feel like if I grow my audience, then um, it'll lead to sales. And I don't know if that's 100% true, but like I feel like that's kind of the way to go right now, and it's been working for me. So the idea of growing my audience, like the best information I could have got was like learning what Instagram and Facebook want. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
like applying that to my page. And I don't want my page to feel manufactured. It's definitely authentically me, but like taking those things that they want and applying that to my Instagram page to grow that audience and like get more people to see my work. And so,
got it.
and not taking it personally, also a big thing as an artist is don't take it personal when people don't respond to your work because it's not personal. Like it's just people just like different things. And so not everything is for everybody all the time, you know? You might be ahead of the game, you know what I mean? Like and they
Yeah,
just don't know yet, you know?
no, we're for sure. Yeah. At this point, guys, we are nearing the top of the hour, so two things are going to happen. First, let's open up the chat room here. If you guys have any questions for Beauty Art, aka Lori, make sure you guys type it down below in the question mark bubble, and we will get it read online here or on the air. The first one was with Live with Seven, the homie Live with Seven. Make sure you guys are checking him out. Give him a follow and check out his IGTV. He is asking which anime is your favorite.
Okay, so right now I'm loving Attack on Titan, but I think I've loved Attack on Titan since the first season. And I know it's a little more mainstream now and this or that, but really the story this season is really good. And
It's
it's like
crazy.
dealing, yeah, it's so crazy. It's dealing with like governments and like kind of like racism and like how we treat people and like what some people are like willing to do to like get out of situations or get in them. You know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
I think that anime is a lot deeper than people I think people look at it surface level because it's like giant humans eating other humans, right? But like
Hmm.
the actual storyline is really, really good.
It
So
is.
that's one of my favorite animes. My all-time favorite anime though is Bleach. It's the first one that like really got into. You know what I mean? Like I got into the storyline, I got into the drawing style, the colors. I mean, the way that man drew like hell, like Waco Mundo, oh my God, so beautiful. Like just the sand dunes and the castles of Waco Mundo were like everything to me at that time. So Bleach is probably my all-time favorite anime. I like Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a really good anime. That's another one where people I think like it because it's like a fighting anime, but like the storyline of like him dragging along his sister, like his
Hmm.
zombie sister, in like a thing, like a little backpack, like he's that dedicated to her. I don't know, like that takes. And I also love that it was a woman that designed that whole, like she drew it and designed it. So I thought that was pretty cool
Oh,
because
that's cool.
women don't usually get as much like love and attention in the anime world. Like they're not, it's not as common, for their animes to like blow up like that. And also a cool, I know this is, I'm going really deep into this because I love anime, but actually Demon Slayer was the top selling and is the top selling manga of all time. It beat out the
Wow.
sales of Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. It
Wow.
it it beat out the top three combined. That's,
Wow.
I don't know. That anime is really good. So yeah,
That,
those are
yeah,
my
it is
top ones.
good. I, my boy Pez, Notorious Pez, he's a big weeb head. He
Ninja,
got me on that. So
yeah. He told me to
let's
check
see.
out Ninja Scroll. I'll check it out for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
For sure.
that's a good one. That's an old school one too. We got more. Let's see. We got. Here we go.
That's my
This
sister.
is. There you go. That's
I
a
miss
great,
you and I love you too.
great question. Great question. Love it. Let's see. We got artistry asking, are you going to do any paintings based on dreams?
You know what? That's really good. I haven't thought of, actually, you know what's funny? I had an idea of doing one based on nighttime and dreaming, but not based on dreams. So that's an interesting concept, and I think thank you for letting me know. I think I want to explore that now. Like it would be cool
That's
because
pretty cool.
some of my self portraits I've dealt with like my feelings. So dealing with dreams might be like a really interesting concept for like a series even, you know?
Yeah, the dream series. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. And we go back to the homie Seven is Life. He's asking, this is a good one. Favorite place to eat?
Favorite place to eat. Okay, so I have a couple. So one of my favorite places to eat was Café Ibérico. It's a tapas restaurant in downtown. The vibe there was really good. Like when you walk in, it's like blasting European techno music,
Wow.
and yeah, they blast like techno and like dance music from Europe, and then like, but it's like when you go in there, it's supposed to feel like Spain, like you're outside in Spain. So like the walls are painted like the outdoors, and then there's seating, and they have really good tapas. The energy there is really good. Like if you're going on a Friday night and you just need somewhere fun to go, that's like a fun place to go. And then Another place I like to eat, I know this is kind of gross because they go in and out of having health violations all the time, but I love tank noodle. Tank noodle, I love Vietnamese pho. So much. So much. I love Vietnamese pho. So those are probably my top two places to go eat. But yeah, I eat mostly at home though. I make a lot of home food, so.
Oh, there you go. And what was the name of that first one? Cafe what?
Iberico.
Iberico.
Hmm.
I think I've heard about that. I used to Uber for a while, a couple years back,
And
and I
you probably
remember
drop people
somebody.
off.
Yeah, I remember somebody telling me and recommending me that when I completely
Yeah.
forgot about it.
It's so good. The tapas are so good. So good. And it's not expensive. Like a tapa plate is like $7, you know?
Yeah.
And you get like three, four of those between a couple people, you know what I mean? You have a really good time. Sangria. It's not
Oh,
expensive, yeah.
for sure. And guys, let's see. And the other thing, while we get more questions in, we got Pugs is asking, the questionable places are the tastiest places. That's true.
Honestly. I feel bad recommending Tank Noodle because I feel like once every 6 months their shit's closed down. Like
Oh,
they have a
dang.
sign saying like closed for, health and safety reasons. And I'm like, damn, like
Jeez.
what do you guys do now? Get it
Street,
together.
for real. Street Sider is asking, what kind of mediums do you like to use? We spoke about that.
Yeah.
Acrylics,
I like
some markers and
acrylic.
stuff.
Yeah, paint markers, water-based paint markers. I like using metal leaf a lot in my paintings. So those are probably my top three things that I use. I've been exploring like holographic glitters in my paintings now too, just like seeing how the textures work because they are chunky. But yeah, I work mostly in acrylic.
For sure, for sure.
Mhm.
And here we go. We also have something that I do on every show where I give away some free art, some stickers or something. So this week is no different. I literally drew this up with the homie Notorious Pez on his live right before the show.
Nice. Look at that piece.
So this is
Which which
this
turtle?
this is the Ronin turtle. I don't
Nice.
know if you heard about this, but supposedly there's the Ronin, which is like the last turtle after their brother.
All of them?
All the other brothers been the last one.
Nice.
So
I love that art style. I love like the
kind of
little pen
thank you.
strokes. So clean.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
clean.
So there you guys go. You want to help me out with this one, Lottie?
You want me to pick one out from the group?
Uh, yeah. What I would like you to do is I
Yeah.
would like you to write a number between 1 to 15.
Write it down or just tell you?
You could think of it. Just keep it in your head. Don't tell me. First person to
Okay.
guess it wins it.
Okay.
So starting now. Sweet. So starting now, numbers 1 to 15. First person definitely wins
Yeah,
this
write it down.
Ronin
Write down
piece.
your number, yes.
Yeah, write it down. Let us see.
I'm putting it out
Here
there
we
into the
go.
universe. Let's see who picks it up. Ah! Yes, 7. What the hell? The first person.
All
Two people. Two
holy
people. The
snaps.
first two people.
Well, by rules, Fair Izzy took it first. So, Fair Izzy, yeah,
Yeah.
DM,
That's
DM me,
awesome.
DM me the address and I will ship you this thing ASAP.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Get it?
awesome.
Get it, Izzy?
Get it. That was quick.
I was pushing it strong into the universe. Pushing it real strong.
Nice, nice. Hey, they read it. They picked it up. So, awesome sketch heading your way, Izzy. Let me write her name down or else I'm going to forget. Very Izzy. All right. And guys, we been on the show with Lori A.K.A Byoodeart. So once again, make sure you guys are checking her out on her YouTube or TikTok and her Redbubble. Like,
Thank you so
subscribe,
much.
follow. Make sure you check out the shop, beautyart.bigcartel.com. Go ahead and order. Order now.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. This was so much fun. Hopefully we could do this again. Like I'd love
No,
to be on
for
your show
sure.
again. Next time we could talk about NFTs and your thoughts
Oh
on them.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of talks on that in the art
Yeah,
world.
I know. It's wild.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? I'll hit you up after the show.
All
Yep.
right, thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Bye.
And that was it. Anything
Oh,
else you want to say, Lori,
no,
before you want to
I
shout out anybody? You want to plug in something? Maybe something I haven't talked about.
no. Everybody that came from my page, please follow him. Please follow Mario. He does a lot of cool stuff. He talks to a lot of great artists. Follow him. Show him
Thank you.
love because he showed
Thank
me
you.
love.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for inviting me, and I hope you have a great, great evening. And I wish you a lot of success this year.
Oh, thank you, Lori. Same. Likewise.
Thank you.
And you're always welcome back as well. Okay. So
Yeah, for
you
sure.
always
For
got an
sure.
open invite. And
Thank you.
NFTs next time. That's right. I like that.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about it, but we got caught up. But we'll talk
Oh
about it
no
next
no.
time.
Yeah, next time. Next time for sure.
Okay.
And that's it, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that, episode 96 comes to a wrap. Uh, we definitely got a couple more guests for the month of the show to end it. Next week, we got Shades of Alyssa, awesome digital artist. So make sure you guys are checking her out. And we're going to finish off the show with Tibbs World and Dano Might once again because we had some technical difficulties last month. So that's episode 97, 98, and 99 for the finishing of March here. Once again, thank you to our guest, Lorimar A.K.A Byoodeart. That's Byoodeart. One word. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing everywhere. She's on TikTok, on YouTube, on Redbubble, and her shop at BigCartel.com. Make sure you guys give her a follow, buy some stuff ASAP. All right, Lodi, that's it. It's been a great
Adios.
show. Thank
Been a
you.
great
Thank you
show.
very
Bye.
much. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much once again for joining. And we'll be joining next week with Shades of Alyssa. That's going to be very interesting. For me, well, you guys know the deal, chatting with Zim. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing as all the archives for our past shows will be there, and it's already updated. This one should be there within the next day or two. And yeah, make sure you guys are checking out Monstrous Art Clan. That's the squad here, filled with many awesome guests. Guests? Did I say guests? I meant community. Community of artists there. Yeah, many different styles. Also, make sure you guys are checking out the homie Seven is live, or I should say live with Seven now. So check that out. Live_with Seven. That's the homie. He also does interviews like this. So if Beauty Art, you want some more exposure, I could definitely get you on that show out there, and we can make that happen in the near future. Make sure you're checking him out at his IGTV. Give him a follow. And check out Della News. That's my little bro, the homie. Definitely doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And check out Second City Stickers. That's where we sell stickers. Right now, there is on hold on some stickers as we're finding new suppliers, but you could definitely go ahead and order your 228 slabs if you guys are into that sort of stuff. So check that out as well. And that's it. That's it. That wraps it up. Once again, thanks to our guest, Beauty Art. This has been episode number 96. I've been your host, Zimmer. And we're out, guys. Remember, keep creating, love one another, and above all, trust the process. I'm out. Peace.